Hi everyone, and thank you for joining this session. I'm Lieberman. I'm the head of product marketing at Superwise.ai. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how to stop operating your AI in the dark. So what do I mean by that? Essentially, stop operating your AI in the dark is a phrase that was coined by one of our customers, lead data scientists in a productivity app, who said that before using AI assurance, he was essentially operating his AI in the dark. And really, the more discussions we have with our customers, the more we realize that AI practitioners are on the verge of a new era. To me, it all boils down to one question. Are your models in production behaving the way they were designed to? We can all agree that when the models meet real life, this is when they start to break. They start being subject to concept drift, to develop bias, and the data quality isn't as stable as in a training environment. For the data scientist teams, this means that they need to spend more time being pulled in operational meetings, trying to answer questions and see if and when the models are to be blamed for loss. The way we see it at Superwise, the day two or this new era that we're stepping into is a day that is filled with gaps. The first gaps are a capabilities gap, how to monitor, what metrics to use, what tools should be used in order to look at and to establish the health of models. The more discussions we have, they're mostly triggered by the realization that whatever homegrown solution is being used right now is not good enough. The lack of resources also is a strain because as they grow their AI use cases, data science teams realize that they won't have so much time to invest into their homegrown solutions. They also lack granularity and the real feedback to make progress. The second gap is about ownership. It all boils down to the question, who is in charge of your models once they're in production? Is it the data science team or is it the operational team? And if it is the latter, do they have the right skill sets? Assuring the health of your AI requires very hybrid capabilities that are also analytical and also engineering. So how do you raise up to that channels? And the real question is, how do we address these gaps and how can we empower both of these stakeholders, the data science and the operational users out there? So for us at Superwise, empowering users is about fostering the trust necessary to power the use of AI at scale. For data science, it's about efficiency, okay? It's about making sure that they don't waste their time firefighting bad predictions and they can finally take control of their models by having the right insights at the right time. For operations, it's about making sure that they're independent and they can understand the quality of the predictions without having to guesstimate. It's also about making sure that the models work for them and help them gain insights on their audience. For the business, it is a pretty straightforward benefit. It is about reducing risks, and in specific verticals, it is about ensuring compliance. It seems trivial. Today, all of these teams are operating in the dark and sometimes wasting very precious resources. And this is where Superwise steps in with our AI assurance solution. We help you gain insights from your models, we help you know when they misbehave, and we help them fix what's broken immediately. So for data science teams, gaining insights from their models essentially means benefiting from out-of-the-box KPIs on different stages of the machine learning process. So at the evaluation, at the input, and by making sure that the quality of the decisions is still optimal. And this is what you're seeing on the screen now. It is the wealth of metrics that we give out of the box. What we do is that we track the performance of your model over time and can automatically predict at the segment level when there is deviation. So by looking at the whole life cycle of the machine learning process, we can identify drifts straight from the input stage and at the granularity of specific subpopulation. This enables us to understand in real time if there is a performance degradation. So for instance, one of our customers had no feedback for 21 days. We were able to dramatically cut the time to detect an issue from 21 days to almost instantly. And for operations, gaining insights means that they can automatically discover biases and detect underperforming segments. So for example, I think this is what you're seeing now on the screen. It's one of our segments. When a marketing campaign is launched for a population that the model is not optimal, usually this means that the money invested is going to be wasted because the predictions are not suited. At Superwise, we let these teams know when they have a weak spot automatically. They can, of course, then correct their campaigns within a few hours, making sure that they don't suffer from loss. So it's already about operationalizing the way you look at AI performance. Without this tool today, operationals and data science teams have no way of clearly knowing what is going on with their models. The other aspect that we tackle is not only about gaining efficiency for your teams. It's really about helping you gain control by knowing when your models misbehave. What you are now seeing on the screen is one of our alerts and how they can represent deviations per metrics that impact the model itself. So our own machine learning detects automatically when the KPIs are deviating and triggers an alert at the right time. This is not a threshold, this is not a rule, this is machine learning for machine learning. It's not something that a user should configure. This is brought to them. And last but not least, it is about making sure that the users can decide on the best corrective action. A lot of our customers report that by using the tool, they're able to better define retraining strategies, and understand on what data to retrain. So they can diagnose the situation, and you've seen here on the screen that from the alert, they can get to the root cause of the alert very promptly. Let me show you again. And so here we can see the root cause of the alert. So just to summarize, this is what Superwise.ai assurance platform is about. It is about fostering trust to power the use of AI at scale. It is about bringing more visibility, more efficiency, more independence, and less risks. So let's make sure that you come and visit us at our booth and see a full demo. Thanks a lot.